Hello, Exiles. This is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and welcome to my new Path of Exile video where I'm taking my Frost Blades Trickster to solo Self-Found. I tried doing this video right after I woke up, and it was kind of a rambling, incoherent mess, so hopefully this will be a little bit more organized. I'm currently level 72. I'm going to do just a quick strand, just tier 1. I don't have that many maps done, just 7 out of 15. And this is my current Atlas tree. I'm going for June missions, and I'm going to do 3 more maps in order to get essences, and I'll explain why I'm doing that and kind of my strategies that I'm going to be implementing today after I get done with that. So do the strand really quick. I don't currently have any of my uniques, nor do I have an additional strike. But overall, I think my gear is pretty good. I was doing the Lake of Calandra, doing mirror tablets, and farming up. I got a lot of essences while doing that through leveling, so my gearing situation was always pretty solid. I'll also show off my gear and talk about the leveling tree and the methods that I use to level up. So as you can see, damage is pretty solid. Obviously, this is tier 1 map, so the amount of damage isn't necessarily going to be you don't need that high of damage, but so we got an essence mob. Obviously these are going to take a little longer to kill. We got our frenzy charges up, we get exposure, get some nice essences to add to the collection. And yeah, regular rares are going to be, I did actually kill a Solaris Touched and got an Exalted Orb. So my 3rd rare of the very first map I ever did on this character, I got a Solaris Touched, Mirror Image, Frost Weaver Echoist, and I managed to get an Exalted Orb plus some Elks and Chaos. So that was pretty cool. No Divine, unfortunately, but honestly, I think the Exalt is more useful at this stage of the game, so I'm actually pretty happy with that. But yeah, even without the additional strike, the clear is decent, with the Herald of Ice explosions as well helping us out. Currently, I have... I'm not running Grace yet. I don't know why I'm going back. These stupid rows charge past us, and I have to go back and kill them for some reason. Okay, get some Jeweler's Orbs. I need a lot of those at the moment because I'm going to start crafting up my sockets. Because currently I don't have everything set up. But I have, most of the things that are needed to make the build functional set up already. So I just need to fix some gem slots and everything. I'm building a mirror tablet. I'm probably just going to throw an essence on there. There you go. I want a lot of essences. I want to be doing a lot of crafting, so we'll do that. And the reason I did the strand is it's very quick. I just wanted to show. This has bosses have additional life and AoE, but they're still getting frozen. There's probably not too much I want to pick up here. I'll check out the boots, I guess, and also the exquisite lever. Okay. So that should cover that. See what we get. That's not good. That I have better, and that's not good. Okay, so we'll sell this all real quick. Put everything in the stash. And yeah, so here's the leveling tree. This is what I used to level through. I'll explain step by step where I went. So basically went to Trickery, grabbed Elemental Focus, grabbed Blood Siphon, Coordination, got Charisma sometime in Act 2, I believe. I might have actually not gotten Elemental Focus right away. I might have just beelined down to Charisma. I don't really remember. But I did get the Mastery right away because I was running Precision. I actually ran Clarity early on because we have mana issues. And then because I got Charisma, I was able to run both Herald of Ice and summon Skitterbots. So I was doing that for the first few acts, basically until I got Hatred in middle of Act 3 or kind of late Act 3. Then I got rid of the Skitterbots and the Clarity. And then from there, I'm not doing it in order, so I didn't get these yet, like the Forces of Nature and Revenge of the Hunted. Instead, I went straight down into Acuity. You want a good amount of attack speed before you get multi-strike, so you don't get caught in the animation of multi-strike. So like coordination, acuity, and then I went up and got Claws of the Magpie. So as you can see, I kind of finished out all of the attack speed, making sure I got that before I got multi-strike. After that point, just kind of started filling stuff out. That was pretty much where I sat when I got my first Ascendancy, which was one step ahead. From there, I got the life, I got Blood Drinker, I got Clever Thief. Once you get Leech, everything becomes a lot easier. And then I believe I got Forces of Nature, popped over, got Intuition and Herbalism, got Flash Freeze and Mark of the Prey. I got these right around the time I got my second Ascendancy. I decided to get Swift Killer instead of Polymath for my second Ascendancy because I really wanted more attack speed. And the frenzy charges. So once you get the mark mastery from having Mark the Prey, you can get the 10% chance to gain a frenzy charge on hit or when you hit a marked enemy. This was right around the time that I switched over from added cold to ice bite support. So my first 3 links were Frost Blades, added cold damage, and onslaught. I used that until I got a 4 link. And then I added, I think I was using elemental damage to attacks before I got multi-strike. So my setup was Frost Blades, added cold, onslaught, and elemental damage to attacks. So that's pretty much the beginner 4 link you're going to have set up. And then after that, I started getting, I think I did go over to, or right around the second Ascendancy, I got my 6th and 7th frenzy charge. So going from 3 to 7 frenzy charges is a really big deal. And then I think I got like elemental focus, one with nature, finesse, started filling out crit after that, and switched from onslaught to nightblade once my attack speed was fast enough that I got whirling blades. You also do get a silver flask in, like, I think it's might not be until Act 10 actually. You get it from a quest. So, but yeah, you don't need it as much. Once you get enough attack speed, you're just whirling blades around enough that having onslaught isn't super necessary. You have a good attack speed, and then you'll eventually get the onslaught flask. But then I started getting crit right around the time I put in Nightblade, so I got like Claws of the Hawk and Assassination. Also at that point, you do have your mark on hit, so your crit chance goes up quite considerably. And then from there, you just start getting like your spell suppression, any life you didn't fill out from the rest of it. So currently my spell suppression sits at 75%. I'm going to try to get some more. I only have a little bit on gear. I have 10% set up on my buckler here, but I don't think I have any more elsewhere. So yeah, I just have this little inveterate wheel. I'm going to get the mastery for this as well. That gives a crit chance based on our spell suppress. I'll probably temporarily pick up quick step as well. Quick step is kind of just a 2-point little 13% spell suppression as kind of a holdover until you get your gear figured out. I'll probably also get a life and leech mastery here just to get the extra more damage from polymath. So I'll probably get the 10% increased maximum life, reduced life recovery rate. And here, at some point, I'm going to figure out how to slot in grace, because my current setup does not include grace. I have hatred, precision, herald of ice, and defiance banner, which only has me at 39, almost 4,000 evasion. That goes up to about 7,000 with my Jade Flask currently. So that's pretty much the setup. But yeah, once you hit Act 6 or so, 2, you can have your Hydrosphere. You go ahead and buy that from the gem vendor in Act 6. You get Hydrosphere with Bone Chill. Get that set up. But yeah, everything's kind of, this is the leveling tree. This is where you should look at level 72, where you should look to be. Very comfy. I'll go over my current gem setup. Frost Blades with Ice Bite, Nightblade, and Multi-Strike. I have Steel Skin and Defiance Banner. Defiance banner is going to be gone, and I might have to temporarily get rid of Herald of Ice to put in Grace as well, but this is fine for white maps, honestly, until I get other stuff sorted out. Hatred, Precision, Dash, Hydrosphere, Bone Chill. Eventually I'll add increased duration to that just for quality of life. Herald of Ice, Whirling Blades. Whirling Blades is going to be linked with faster attacks once I get all of my other links set up. I did find a Portal gem in Act 8, which was really cool. So I do have Portal. I'll probably link that with Cast on Death eventually. Right now I haven't had any issues with survivability. And then I have Assassin's Mark, Mark on Hit with Inspiration. Inspiration keeps the mana cost down. I currently am keeping my Assassin's Mark on level 2 until I get the Elrion, because it costs 28 mana and I only have 98 or 96 unreserved. So I'm currently running a lower level Assassin's Mark, which is going to lower the crit damage from it, but that's okay. I just want to make sure my mana is fine until I get the minus mana cost Elrion. As far as gear, I got this really good helmet in Act 4. Been using it ever since. 59 life and triple resist in Act 4 has been really great. Honestly, it's just still an okay, beginner end game item. I'm going to be replacing this with Heat Shiver as soon as I get it. This amulet I also got pretty early on. It's life, all attributes, regen, little bit of all resist, and then I just put on some added cold to attack with crafting. Ring, same thing, just life resists, and then I crafted added cold to attacks. This ring I crafted with an essence. I got a lot of essences with the lake, as I mentioned, so just double resist. This one I've been using for a long time. The only reason I haven't replaced it is because I currently need the intelligence for this claw, so I'm not going to replace it until I can get more intelligence elsewhere. But yeah, it's bad, obviously. It's very bad, but I kind of need it at the moment. Body armor, this also kind of sucks. I'm going to be replacing this very soon. I have better body armors, like this one right here is much better. I have this that I can craft with essences that has a synthesized or has a fractured fire resistance on it, so I can definitely craft this to get better. I also have this really nice shield that I have set up, but I need the spell suppression, and I'm trying to get 100%, and I don't have the spell suppression craft yet, which I believe is an unveil as well. So that's part of the reason I'm going to be doing a lot of June missions. So my main map setup is going to just be essences and June missions in white maps for quite a while. So this is a pretty good claw. One thing I didn't mention, the mastery here. I currently, until you get Heat Shiver, you don't need the increased freeze duration on enemies. It could help because being able to perma-freeze bosses and stuff is going to make it a lot safer in the early game. But because I have a high physical damage roll on my claw, just temporarily I'm using physical damage converted to cold. As soon as I get Heat Shiver, that'll get switched over to the freeze duration on enemies. But yeah, this claw has high physical damage, has a tier 4 physical damage roll, also has attack speed, crit multi, which is pretty nice, and then flat cold damage. And I currently temporarily have cold damage crafted. I do have a thicket map which gives you the crit chance craft. I'm going to be getting that right after this video basically, so this will have crit chance on it, which will increase my DPS pretty considerably. These gloves suck, but they have a lot of attack speed, and I like to have a lot of attack speed just for everything to feel good. My previous shield also had attack speed crafted onto it, 12%. This belt's quite good. Life, strength, it's on a bad base, but it's got good stats. Stun and block recovery actually isn't super terrible, because considering we are a little susceptible to stuns, but the actual stats are really good. 31 strength, 61 life, double resist, and then a crafted elemental damage with attack skills. This is solid for early game. My boots, life, resistance with a crafted resistance, and move speed. Not bad at all, honestly. So I have some good pieces of gear, like this ring, these gloves, they suck, but all of the rest of my gear is actually really good for this stage of the game. So I'm pretty happy with that. Flasks, I have a Jade Flask with stun and block recovery, pretty good. I don't have the flash charges on crit except for this one, which started out with like chance to freeze shock and everything. I used an ult on it, and I got the attack speed right away, and then I used an augmentation and I got chance to gain a flash charge on crit. Very low roll on that. I'll definitely be swapping this out, but I got this flask from a quest reward in Act 10, I believe. Diamond Flask. Avoid being shocked. I actually have my flasks rolled reasonably well. They're just not qualityed yet, and I think I only have, I have 4 instilling orbs, so I can automate one of these. It'll probably be the silver flask right away. But then I have a corrupted blood removal divine life flask that isn't qualityed, but that's fine. I have leech and stuff. You get a lot of armors and blacksmith's whetstones, which you can use to trade into glass blower baubles at vendors in towns. So I'll definitely be doing that to make sure that these are all qualityed up. I'd like higher item level ones, but I think I might just do that right away anyway. Quicksilver. Using this Quicksilver, I don't actually use it much. You may have noticed I didn't use my flasks a lot during the map, and that's partially because I'm so used to them being automated. But that's the gear, that's the leveling tree. So go over my plans. Oh, actually, first I'm gonna go over, well, I kind of talked about how I leveled already when I was going over the tree. It's not that hard. One thing I would recommend is that from level 12 until level 38, when you get multi-strike, to use Spectral Helix instead of Frostblades. Still level Frostblades in another gem link or in an offhand. But Spectral Helix is just way better until you can get like a good amount of attack speed and multi-strike. It's still better even then, honestly, but Frostblades feels good enough that you can just level with it from that point onward. Frostblades has better clear. You don't really need clear while in the campaign, but it just feels good. So I think Frostblades, once you get multi-strike, is good to swap back into. So Frostblades from level 2 to 12, Spectral Helix from level 12 to 38, and then back to Frostblades once you get multi-strike. That's what I would recommend currently. But yeah, current plans. As I said, I want to get all of the unveils. I have one of the 3 necessary unveils currently. So the one that I do have is the attacks with this weapon penetrate 11 to 13% elemental resist. So once you get the penetration one, that's nice. I don't have an open prefix on this guy yet, and crit chance is going on it, but good to have that one. We're going to go and do a lot of betrayal, and we're going to try to make sure Elrion is on the board, so I'm going to do those. Once we have Elrion on the board, I'm going to make sure he has as many rivalries as friendships as possible, so that he shows up in as many encounters as possible. And then I'm going to keep going until I get the minus mana cost jewelry unveil. So that'll be really cool. Once I get that, I'll be able to level up my Assassin's Mark. I'll be able to try to fit Grace in as well, because once you have minus mana cost, you can have a lower unreserved mana. So that will be the next priority after doing that. The other one that I need to unveil is the body armor physical taken as elemental. The one that gives you 6%, or 6% as 2 different elements, or physical taken as 2 different elements. That'll be another high priority that I'll have. So those 3 unveils. Also spell suppress, I think, is also an unveil, so I'll definitely want that so we can cap out our spell suppress. That's before we head into red maps. We're definitely going to need 100% spell suppress, so that's very, very important. And then other than that, get essences so that we can craft gear, obviously very important. And once we have all of those unveils done, which I'll try to do that all in white maps, we can start to proceed. I'm also going to be doing mirror tablets and possibly heists to get uniques in order to attempt to get heat shiver. Heat shiver is going to be a huge DPS boost the moment we get that. Same thing with Yoke of Suffering. That's going to be a priority as well. So heat shiver, Yoke of Suffering. Finding those is our next highest priority. Honestly, I think without them, we can easily at least progress in the yellow maps, but they'll just make life a lot easier, honestly. So that's pretty much everything. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be back tomorrow with another update. I'm also going to go on to my Trade League version and do some Pinnacle bosses and Juiced map, like just as a demonstration, because a lot of people were asking for that and kind of doubting the viability of this build in that kind of content. But I assure you, I'm not over promising. It's not one of those over promise underperform builds. This build is actually incredible. Try it for yourself, and I hope this video helps you try it for yourself. This has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I will see you next time. Bye.